The future is coming. Make it brighter with Squarespace. Squarespace makes it easy to turn your idea into a unique website. Showcase your work, blog, or publish content, even sell products and services of all kinds in just a few clicks. You can customize everything from look and feel to settings and products using beautiful templates created by world-class designers. And there's nothing to install, patch, or upgrade ever. Head to squarespace.com for a free trial. And when you're ready to launch, use the offer code PFT to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. Want a weekly news podcast that keeps you informed but doesn't take itself too seriously? Subscribe to Fake the Nation, an Earwolf podcast hosted by comedian Negin Farsad. Every Thursday, Negin invites her favorite comedians, writers, and policy buffs to dish on the news of the week. You'll hear from guests like Baratunde Thurston, John Fugelsang, Judy Gold, and John Lovett from Pod Save America. The conversations are loose-lipped, insightful, and smart. That's right. You'll keep up with current events while laughing through the pain. So, find Fake the Nation on Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you listen. New episodes drop every Thursday just in time for your commute home. Oh, welcome. Welcome to you. I am being welcoming because I am glad that you're here. Folks, why am I so glad you're here? Because you're listening. We need to listen to each other. And we need to do it as fast as possible. Here's what I say. Let's all listen to each other as we talk to each other. So we're all talking and listening at the same time. Now, it sounds like a mess. But the more you're listening to what someone else is saying, the less you're paying attention to what you are saying. And it comes out like a bunch of gibberish. Meaning, hold on. This is, I can save this. Because I realize now the problem is, if everyone's doing that, then what you're listening to is gibberish. But don't we need to understand each other a little better? So, if you're really listening to someone else's gibberish, this is going great, by the way. You are putting a meaning on what they are saying that doesn't make any sense. So you are assuming what they mean, which is what we need to do more of. I might have to go back to the old drawing board on that one. Hey, how about this? What if we started all drawing more? No listening required. Just show stuff. Everyone walk around with a whiteboard. Paul, I can't draw. Learn. Get good at drawing. This is the new world order. We're trying to have a society. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Spontaneanation with Paul F. Tompkins. I am the second part. This is a show where I invite a special guest onto the program to have a free-form conversation with me, inspired by a blind question from our previous episode's guest. Then, I invite some improviser pals onto the program to join me in a narrative improv that is one continuous story as opposed to unconnected scenes, oftentimes utilizing details gleaned from the conversation with the aforementioned special guest. And it is all scored on piano by Mr. Eban Schletter. That's what he goes like. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm very excited to have this gentleman on the program for the very first time. Let's see if these credits ring any bells for you. Perhaps you're familiar with his podcast, LeVar Burton Reads. Perhaps you're familiar with the television program Reading Rainbow. Perhaps you're familiar with the television program Star Trek, The Next Generation, and all the movies that came out of it. Perhaps you're familiar with the historic miniseries Roots, or Roots, depending on where you live. Get off the roof. It's time for Roots. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Spontaneous Nation, Mr. LeVar Burton.
Thank you, Paul. Thank you.
LeVar, how are you doing?
I'm really well. I am. And I noticed for the folks at home who are scoring at home, the improv masters that you have invited into the studio today are all black people. Is that an honor of me? Is that?
I wanted you to feel at home.
I do. I do.
Well,
and
you know,
I thank you for that, Paul.
This is certainly not a completely unusual setup, but especially for this is one of our episodes that'll be available during Black History Month.
I see.
And so I thought that would be appropriate.
Absolutely.
Well, I will tell you that last week's guest,
yes.
Same situation. He did not call it out. I guess he assumed this is business as usual.
Zachary just was scared. He was scared shitless. He'd never been around these many black people in his life.
That is an off-mic conversation. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to have references for ourselves, too. It can't all be for you. All right, LeVar, I have a question for you. Mm-hmm. This comes to us from our previous episode's guest. And that question is, Lyft drivers, what do you think? That is the entirety of the question.
Wow.
You may interpret that however you wish.
Well, I've given this a lot of thought at the time, and I think primarily Lyft drivers can't afford to work for Uber.
Well, now, what I don't know what makes someone choose one over the other as a driver.
In truth, I think the Lyft drivers they're cooler than Uber drivers. Mm-hmm. I think they're smarter than Uber drivers, and they play better music.
That is true.
Yeah,
absolutely.
They do.
Absolutely.
They do.
Are you a big rideshare proponent?
I like rideshare, although I don't like ride sharing with other ride sharers.
No, I don't like that.
I'm not a pool person.
My wife, who's very thrifty, she likes to do the pool.
No, that's not me. Kunta doesn't do the pool. In fact, many black people don't swim, but that's a conversation for another time.
So pool in any sense.
No. But when I ride share, I opt for the solo ride.
Yes.
Yeah.
As do I.
Yeah.
As do I. I feel situations like that, I feel like I get very shy around strangers when I have to just do the usual. It depends what the situation is, because there's certain places where just a public place where I have no problem making conversation with somebody.
Sure.
And then for some reason, being in a tight space like that, I feel very self-conscious.
Well, here's my philosophy. If I'm paying for the ride, I don't want to have to talk to you or anybody else in the car.
Right.
That's just how I roll.
Do you like when the driver makes conversation?
Not necessarily, no.
Do you like when the driver is just monologizing? Because I kind of enjoy that.
Do you?
Well, it's like once it dawns on you, oh, nothing is required of me. Well, this guy's just going to go.
I'm such a people pleaser, though. I feel like if he's talking, then it's incumbent upon me to respond. So,
right.
And I don't want to engage because I'm paying for the ride.
Do you really not swim?
No, I actually do swim. I'm quite a good swimmer.
Did you learn as a kid or as an adult?
I learned as a kid and perfected it as an adult.
See, I feel like I need to do that. This has come up on the show before, that I'm one of those swimmers that I think I could keep myself alive, mm-hmm. but I don't think I could save somebody else. Well,
that's an important distinction.
Absolutely.
It's good to know your limits.
How often do you swim?
In the summer, a lot. And I love going to an island and being in the sea. The Caribbean is my favorite place on the planet mm-hmm. to go and hang when I have, that space and grace in my life to do that. And I get in the sea 2-3 times a day.
Nice.
Yeah.
When was the first time you did that? Was that something that you experienced as a kid going to the ocean or no?
I didn't go into the ocean. The first ocean I went in was the Pacific, I'm pretty sure. And that was here in Southern California mm-hmm. when I moved here to LA in 74. Yeah.
But you've experienced that wonderful bathwater ocean of the Atlantic.
Of the Caribbean.
Yeah.
Of the Caribbean. That's when I'm talking swimming in the sea. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking about swimming in Los Angeles. It's pretty cold.
It's very
here.
cold.
It's very cold here.
Are you a snorkeler?
I'm a scuba diver.
Scuba diver.
Yeah.
How have you explored wrecks and things like that?
I have done a couple of deep dives and had the opportunity to swim with fish in long forgotten wrecked ships. Yeah.
What is the craziest thing you've seen down there?
A couple having sex. On a wreck dive, I came around the corner, and there they were. It was like, is that a fish? No, that's a man and a woman engaged in coitus.
Once you've done the Mile High Club, where is there left to go?
Yeah, right? There are a few options remaining, sure.
We've done Mile High, we've done sea level, it's time to go down.
It's exactly right, but I'm pumped.
Is this for real?
No, this is an absolute true story, yeah.
There's something about that seems dangerous to me.
Well, everybody who's ever, scuba, if you're a scuba diver, you know that the buddy system is really important.
It's important.
And I guess they were just good buddies.
This is like a romantic comedy waiting to be written.
I kid you not. It was startling.
Sure.
And I backed away slowly.
Now my question, of course, now is, did they see you?
They did not see me.
Right.
They did not see me, and I don't know why I was embarrassed because I wasn't.
Well, you swam in on them.
I turned the corner and there they were. It was arresting.
Were they in a wreck? Where were they just out in the sea?
No. It was.
I'm trying to picture this.
It was on a ship that had been sunk so that a reef would form, and there were a lot of fish, and that's kind of it was about 35 feet down, and I came around the corner of the cabin, and there they were.
Now, you said a ship that had been sunk to form a reef. This was on purpose.
Yes, exactly right.
I'm not familiar with this practice.
No. They do that in certain areas so that snorkelers and scuba divers actually have a place where fish will congregate, and then you can observe the wonders of the deep.
Now, does something form around them, or to the fish this is like? Oh, this is like a reef.
Algae collects, and they go and they eat, and then eventually it creates an entire ecosystem, and it's really quite amazing to see the varieties of fish that gather.
Is this something that can save a reef that's in danger?
I don't know if it can save a reef that's in danger. Coral is a living thing, and once that coral dies, it's not coming back.
That's a shame.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on from the death of our reefs.
Yeah, this is an uplifting conversation.
What spurred the decision to become a better swimmer as an adult?
Because when I learned as a kid, I was a Boy Scout, and you had to get the merit badge, you had to swim a certain distance, but I never felt really comfortable in the water. Like you, I felt like I could survive, but barely.
Yeah.
So as I grew older, I really felt that this was something that I wanted to master, and I just put in the time to learn to swim so that I really felt comfortable in the water.
And so I've had the experience of being out in the ocean, getting carried out a little too far, and then having a hard time getting back in. Yeah, it's very scary.
That's like, that's when you are afraid for your life in an element as big as an ocean.
Yes.
And you're really tested as to, whether or not you can get back to safety.
Yeah.
It puts the fear of God in you.
Because this is a thing that you will only win if it lets you win.
That's right.
That's right. If the ocean gets bored with this struggle, like, just go, get back.
Yeah, it's no joke. It's no joke.
What's like the scariest situation you've been in underwater?
I was a member of the first descent expedition team down the Zambezi River in South Central Africa. The Zambezi borders Zambia to the north and Zimbabwe to the south. In 1982, I went with an outfit called Sobek and the American Sportsman. Remember the American Sportsman, a show on ABC?
Yeah.
Kurt Gowdy used to host. It was about adventuring and hunting and fishing. And in a series of rapids, I fell out of the boat and got sucked in what they call a maytag. It's a hole created by suction, where water is moving in two or more directions at the same time, and it creates suction. So I got stuck in this hole and finally spit out and then hit my head on the boat. The man who fell in after me cracked 3 ribs, punctured a lung, and had to be helicoptered to a hospital later on that day. But that was intense.
I have 2 questions for you.
Yeah.
Number 1, what is going through your mind as you're in that? Number 2, did the appliance called Maytag come first, or is this a fun nickname?
It's a fun nickname.
Fun nickname.
A fun nickname.
Violent natural event.
Yeah, exactly. The thing that I remember most about it was that it felt like an eternity that I was underwater. And in essence, it was really only 5 or 6 seconds, but it felt like much, much longer. And the sense of relief when I was spit out of this suction, and then the surprise of my head getting pounded into the boat. And then I found myself in the rapids, and I was floating very rapidly downstream. And then my shin hit a rock, and then I remembered the training. Oh yeah, you're supposed to pick up your feet, and then finally, they had put a safety line across, and I was caught and dragged back to the shore.
So they literally threw out a rope and you grabbed onto it?
Even before we shot these rapids, they had gone and set up a safety line. Because this was in October. The Zambezi was displacing, I think, 150,000 cubic feet of water per second at that time.
I was going to say.
By comparison, at high water, the Colorado River displaces about 15,000 cubic feet of water per second. So. Yeah.
How bad?
In that moment of mockery, I realized just how freaking pretentious I sounded, Paul. So thank you.
It was not a moment of mockery at all.
Thank you for pointing out my assholery. No. I appreciate that very much.
Hold on a second. That is not what we do here. We're not. There's no mockery of anyone for having knowledge. There's only mockery of people who don't have knowledge, and that is me. In this, as always. So not just in this instance.
So you were actually listening to my gibberish, is what you're saying. Okay.
You understand?
I do.
Oh, the system works, folks.
Okay.
The system, it works if you work it. Keep coming back. All right. How bad was that knock to your head on the boat?
It was not as bad as Grant's knock to his ribs. Right?
Yeah.
I was able to to walk to shore and have lunch. Grant, not so much.
How is Grant today? Is he all right?
I don't know.
If anyone has eyes on Grant, please tweet at SpontaneANation. LeVar Burton, thank you so much for being here.
My pleasure.
This was an absolute treat. This is going to be the second week of February. What would you like to tell people about, and where can people find you should they wish to find you?
You can please download my podcast, LeVar Burton Reads, where I select a favorite piece of short fiction and read it to you every episode. Available at iTunes, Stitcher, wherever.
All your usual podcast
wherever
places.
Podcasts are downloaded.
That's right. And are you Twitter, Instagram?
On Twitter
like
at LeVar Burton. And of course, at LeVar Burton Kids for the app Skybrary, a digital library for the children in your life of books and video field trips. Skybrary for kids that need to read more.
There you go. And of course, I don't think it's still happening by the time you hear this, but please don't tell LeVar how you're boycotting Big Baller. That's a different person.
Yeah.
And leave him alone.
Yeah. Thank you, Paul.
You're welcome. Ladies and gentlemen, we will take a break. During the break, we will procure a location for our improv from LeVar Burton, and then you will meet our improvisers. Listen to the ad and stay alive. Squarespace, make your own website. Squarespace. They are supporting today's show, and I couldn't be happier about it. Are you ready to start your new business? Pause for answer. Well then, make it stand out with Squarespace. With beautiful templates created by world-class designers. By world, I'm assuming they mean planet Earth. Squarespace makes it easy to turn your idea into a new and unique website. Showcase your work, blog, publish content, even sell products and services of all kinds in just a few clicks. You can customize everything from the look and the feel to the settings and products. Yeah, they're not going to make you products, okay? So that one, you really do have to customize that yourself. Come up with your own products. Squarespace is not going to hold your hand and be like, I don't know, maybe can your own preserves? Squarespace is not your mother. You can customize everything. I already said that. And it is all optimized for mobile right out the box. That means you design it on your laptop, it looks great. You look at it on your phone, still looks great. Doesn't look like hot trash. Use Squarespace's analytics to help you grow in real time. That's a sentence I've said many times and I don't understand what it means, but if you're looking to make a website, you will. There is nothing to install, patch, or upgrade ever. Though, if you do have a question, even though Squarespace is trying to make it as simple as possible for you, if you do have a question, Squarespace's award-winning 24/7 customer support is there to help. They are more patient with you than I am. I'm mad at you. Destiny is calling, not the video game that I only sort of enjoyed, regular Destiny. It says you need a new website, so make it with Squarespace. Head to squarespace.com for a free trial, and when you're ready to launch, use the offer code PFT to save 10% off your first purchase of a website or domain. That is squarespace.com, offer code PFT. Oh, welcome back. Guys, we did it. We got through another ad. Folks, it is time to meet our friends from the land of make pretends. Seated. Kitty corner for me, meow. He's back, folks. Our old friend Zeke Nicholson. Zeke, how are you doing?
Yo, Spont Nation, what up? It's your boy, I'm back. I'm good, Paul. How you doing?
Are you a swimmer, Zeke?
You know, I was having a lot of thoughts when you guys were having that discussion.
Me too.
So I grew up swimming. Mm-hmm. I was a big swimmer as a kid.
Where'd you grow up?
I lived in Austin, Texas for 5 years, and then primarily in New York.
New York. Did you just swim in both places?
Yes, I did.
Okay.
Yep.
Swimming pools, lakes. What are we talking?
A lot of pools. I live right by the Hudson River, so a lot of that was happening. Yeah.
Were you swimming in the Hudson River?
Not that much, but I thought about it.
Because it's disgusting,
it's
right?
They had sturgeons, those big ass fish that were their GE dumped a bunch of shit in the river, and they started like having extra fins and shit. It was like full nuclear.
Oh boy.
But I had to lifeguard, I worked at a summer camp and had to get certified as a lifeguard. And I am a strong, pretty athletic, you know, I mean, you can tell by looking at me.
You have an athletic build.
Thank you.
Yes.
I'm a sinker. I'm a big time sinker.
You're not buoyant at all.
Not at all.
You just go right down.
It's like, it has to do with your sort of muscle mass versus lung capacity ratio. Mm-hmm. And my ratio is bad. I go like right to the bottom. And so there's a lifeguard thing where you have to float for however long and then like carry people to the end of the pool. And I would just have to struggle so much because that deep was calling me, you know?
Oh, that's heartbreaking for a lifeguard.
Yes. I was just in the ocean and I didn't go in without a boogie board because I was like, I'm not trying to drown, you know? And you look cool with the boogie board. So.
Of course, you look nothing but cool with the boogie board.
No doubt.
There was a group of friends and I used to go to, ride out to Malibu every Sunday. We did it for a whole I want to say almost an entire calendar year. Every Sunday we would go out to Malibu, and we all had boogie boards, and it was a lot of fun until we saw people with surfboards, and then we became self-conscious.
Sure. Yeah.
But we
boogie in the
very
boo,
cool. Right?
Pretty cool.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
You're supposed to be more buoyant in salt water.
Yeah. Not. Maybe. I don't know.
You got to build up those lungs.
That's true. Or get fat.
Do you think? Just let the muscle turn to fat.
Yes, that's exactly right.
I understand. Well, there's hope.
There's hope for all of us, Paul.
Zeke, I'm going to look away from you.
Okay.
And look right next to you, right across from me. We got a new friend here, ladies and gentlemen. We have not had this gentleman on the show before. He is here now. Please welcome for the first time, Ronnie Adrian.
Yeah, wait for y'all to finish clapping out there. All right, how's everybody doing?
Ronnie, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me.
Thrilled that you're here.
Yeah.
Ronnie, where did you, for people that are hearing you for the first time on this show, where did you start? Improv? Was it like always a thing that you wanted to do?
No, I started improv here.
In Los Angeles, California.
In Los Angeles, California, exactly. When I just needed something else to do, because at the time all I did was just like go to work and stay home. And I realized I was like, oh, that's not a cool life.
When did you have this realization? And what brought it about?
Oh, I can tell you when I had this realization was way too late to have that realization. Looking back and being like, okay, that's a lot of years I spent like not doing much.
What was your job at the time?
I worked retail. So like, yeah. So, I mean, and like I said, I mean, I had experience. It was fun. But I think it really was just being like, I needed another outlet to, you know, like, to meet people, but more importantly, meet girls.
There we go.
Meet girls.
Sure.
Yeah, still haven't really worked out. I mean, but I get to do like improv stuff. So I mean, you know, take some wins, take some losses.
That's all we could do.
Yeah.
Retail is tough. I did retail for many, many years. And it starts out, it seems easy, right? Because it seems like I'm just going to be chatting with people and stuff. And then after a while, it really makes you hate people.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just even necessarily like, you know, especially when it's like, I'm just working retail 9 to 5, of course, of this thing, and they start asking more of you than like, you're like, this wasn't part of the contract. You know, like, it's like, you want me to do what? Like, if I do that, it makes it feel like it's real. Like, this isn't my life. Like, I'm just, like, no, I can't do that. That means I'm here forever.
And where are you from? Are you from Los Angeles?
No, I'm originally from South Carolina.
What brought you out to Los Angeles?
Well, when I was in college, my roommate, he lived in New York. So I went to college in South Carolina. And so like when, for the first year, he was like, yo, you can come to my house and stay with me for a month. Or that's the plan that we came up with. And I went out there, stayed with him. He was Puerto Rican. So like I got to experience like, you know, some different things, some different cultures. If you forgot what LeVar said, I am black, just in case you didn't realize it. So, you know.
Boy, that white guy just dropped Puerto Ricans in the middle of that.
He's from a different time.
It was great. I realized that, like, what's funny is Puerto Ricans, and this might just be like a Latin cultural thing or whatever, but they pair beans with like everything. Like it didn't matter what we were eating, like the side of like rice and beans were the side always. So it didn't matter if it was hamburgers and fries with rice and beans.
Sure.
Chicken with rice and beans was ever there. So that's something that I learned. I was like, okay, like nice little touch. But then when I decided to be like, I don't know if what I'm doing here at school is what I really want to be doing, I was like, well, I need to get out of South Carolina. And I was like, well, I've been to New York, but I've never been to Los Angeles. And so then that was it.
So the crux, rice and beans in New York is the reason you ended up in Los Angeles.
Yeah, dude, I had the rice and beans in New York.
I've conquered that.
Yeah.
I've gotten everything I could get out of New York.
So let me go see what the taste of in California is. And guess what? I'm about to ruin your surprise. Still rice and beans. Still rice and beans.
Here's the craziest thing about rice and beans as a side with everything is that it always works.
Yeah. You don't think it will, but you're right. You're eating and you're like, this fits.
I'm happy it's here.
Yeah.
Ronnie, I'm going to look away from you and look right next to me, we have another new friend. It's been a while since we've had two new friends on the stage. She is very excited at the prospect. Please welcome for the first time, Laci Mosley. Laci, hello.
Hi, hello.
Welcome
hello.
to the show. Why are you laughing? Zeke, why are you laughing?
She said it like she was British or Australian. Hello.
Look, nobody knows me, so this is my chance to be British, okay? This is my chance to be British now, because nobody knows who I am.
You got to seize these
Damn it,
chances when
Zeke.
they come.
You ruined it.
Hello.
Paul was going with it. Paul did not see anything bizarre with that, okay?
I thought I had misheard you in the lobby. Like, oh, she has an accent.
Damn. Ooh, I was about to be like Madonna. You ruined my life. Hi, Paul.
Laci, where are you from? Improv. Tell me the whole thing.
I am from Dallas, Texas, but I lived in New York City, Miami, London, and I live in California.
My word.
Yes.
What a traveler.
Oh, yes.
What brought you to all those places?
And Pittsburgh. So, the cultural
The
wonders.
rice and beans of America.
of America. So I went to college in Texas, and then my mom was super aggressive about college, so she made me apply to 15 schools. I had a college coach. My mom made me apply to Harvard. I was like, Mom, I don't have Harvard grades. She was like, don't worry about it. Just apply under something random like women's studies, and they'll let you in. That's what my college coach told me. Like, if you,
I'm not familiar with the concept of the college coach.
there's people who will prep you for applying to universities and give you strategy. So if the school's harder, they'll tell you what majors get less enrollment, and they'll tell you to apply for that because you can always just change your major when you get there. Yeah, there's so many tricks. My mom really gave me all the ropes. I felt like a Trump kid or something. It was great.
Did you apply to Harvard?
Yes, I did.
And
I
how's
did
that
not get it. They said women's studies or not, girl. Bye. I don't even think they responded. They were just like,
Wow! That didn't even occur to me that they just could not respond. That's cold.
oh, they probably did. I didn't open it. But then this flyer came in the mail for University of Pittsburgh, and my mom saw it before I did because I would have thrown it away. And she was like, apply. And then, so I did. And then I got in, and they gave me the most money because my mom argued with them until they gave me a full ride.
Man, oh man!
She's insane. I love her.
How did she bartered with the college, or she
Yes,
just
you can do that.
just haggle with them?
Yes, you can. Basically, in America, you can haggle over anything.
And you ended up with a full scholarship.
Yeah.
Wow.
So I went there, and then I went to New York afterwards because I thought I went to London for a little bit and ran a theater there in Camden. I was there when Amy Winehouse died.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Wait a minute. Are you saying?
I killed her?
Yeah. Is this something you want to say on mic?
I was in Camden. I was.
Laci
but
was
I
up in
did
here
not.
like, nah, girl, don't go to rehab. Come on.
Come on, girl. Let's take these shots. Y'all talking about rehab.
You were the one that said no, no, no.
I did. I was one of the no's. She had said no, and then I also said no.
So, wait, but you also went to college in Texas, or you went to school in Texas?
I went to school in Texas. Yeah.
You're from Dallas? Mm-hmm. Okay, so you went to college in Texas
I went
at some
to college
point?
in Pittsburgh.
In Pittsburgh?
Yeah. Then I lived in London only for 3 months.
Okay.
And then moved to New York City.
What brought you to New York City?
Acting.
That's right.
Acting.
That's right.
Yes.
The dreams are big.
Oh, yeah. But New York City is a fight. And it turned me into a different person. And I was like, I have to leave. That's why I left New York. Ronnie was there for the rice and beans. I left because somebody was elbowing me on the train one day. And I used to be a bartender. They were elbowing me on the train. And I thought it was by accident. And then I realized it was on purpose. And I was like, oh, fuck. And I know what to do. Oh, excuse me. I don't want to curse.
You can curse? Go ahead.
Oh, well then fuck. No. So I pulled out my corkscrew from bartending and flipped up the little swirly side. And I was just holding it in my hand. And when I got off the train, I was like, Laci, what would you have stabbed that person? Why did you pull out
So you pull the corkscrew out and you're like,
Yeah.
if this happens again, they're getting the corkscrew.
I was just trying to intimidate them because I was so scared. I was scared. I was afraid. So I was like, yeah, this corkscrew gonna get him.
How long did you live in New York?
I lived there for 2 years.
Only 2 years.
They say that's how long it takes. 2 years is when you know if you're a New Yorker or not. And I moved after 2 years.
There you go. The results were in.
Yes.
Unlike the Harvard letter, the results.
And how long in London?
Only for a few months. I was there for like 3 months.
What was the theater you ran?
Camden People's Theater. It was in Camden, but it's like one of those, because like the city owns all the theaters except for the ones in Leicester Square.
Oh, I did not know that.
Yeah. They're all government funded. So at this one, it was like really avant-garde. They sent a bunch of stuff to Edinburgh, but like the lady who ran the theater, I was 20, and she just gave me the keys and stopped showing up. And we had all these weird shows. Like one show was in a van, like it was like a 6-person van, so only 6 people could see the show at a time. And It was like in a white van. I never went inside because I was afraid. There was like this woman who did a show where she would be fully nude and she was pregnant, and I would have to like bring her robes and stuff. It was completely insane. There were riots while I was there.
Sure.
We all went outside and took photos by the trash can fires and stuff. And the cops were like, "Why are you out here?" And we're like, "We're American. Y'all don't have guns." Like, what?
The light is so good by this trash can fire.
It's very flattering.
I gotta get my pics. Okay. They were cute too. I'm gonna show them to y'all.
Oh my God.
It was lit.
Straight fire. Ladies and gentlemen, we have to take another break. During the break, you will listen to the ad. When we return, we will reveal the location for our improv provided to us by LeVar Burton, and then we're going to do that improv. All this and nothing else when Spontaneanation returns. People, let me tell you about my fun friends. Hey guys, I just sang at you. Have you listened to Throwing Shade? It is a podcast right here on Earwolf, and it is a front of queue listen for me. I love this show. I adore it. The hosts, Aaron Gibson, Brian Safi, they are the best. They have been on this show, Spontaneanation. I've been on their show, Throwing Shade, and I've also appeared on their newest venture. Okay? You know that Throwing Shade, and maybe you don't know. I'm trying to cover my bases here, okay? For people that listen to it, people that don't listen to it, okay? Leave me alone. Throwing Shade's a hilarious podcast hosted by Aaron and Brian. They deliver fresh takes on pop culture, women's rights, and LGBT rights. Okay. Now they have a brand new bonus show exclusively on Stitcher Premium called Throwing Shade, a Deeper Shade of Shade. I think I even heard them discuss on an episode of their podcast that was not going to be the title, but that is the title. Throwing Shade, a Deeper Shade of Shade. This is premium content, guys. Here's what's going on. In each episode, Brian and Aaron put a twist on artistic starter cards from 1975. We apparently are not allowed to name them. But they are, let's call them odd plans. They put a twist on these artistic starter cards by asking hard-hitting questions like, would you clone yourself? And can you name a real housewife? Honestly, that second question, I think Brian panicked in the moment. And okay, it's a little bit of a spoiler. Their first bonus episode has me as the guest. I was pleased as Pontius Pilate to be their first guest. I adore talking with these guys. They are so funny and they're so fun. They are really smart and silly and insightful and great conversationalists. They are the perfect hosts. I really, really adored sitting down and talking with them. Brian and Aaron get deep and they talk about being interrupted. Here's some of the highlights. We get deep. We talk about being interrupted during an important dance. We talk about Popeye's anatomy. And yes, we do talk about inflatable snakes. All right, guys, you got to check this out. Listen to Throwing Shade, Deeper Shade of Shade, exclusively on Stitcher Premium. For a free month of Stitch Preems, go to stitcherpremium.com/shade and use the promo code SPONT, S-P-O-N-T. That is stitcherpremium.com/shade. Offer code SPONT for a free month of Stitcher Premium. Stitch Preems. Oh, welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Oh, guess what? It is time to reveal the location for our improv provided to us by Mr. LeVar Burton. But first, just so's you know, in order to aid us in our storytelling, we use 3 sound effects that move us about in space and time. What is that music? I don't like it. I don't like it. It's making me anxious for some reason. All right. Let's say that's more like it. This calms me down. Let's say we need to travel into the past for any reason. Someone is having a flashback. We're learning how something came to be. Anytime we travel to the past, we use this flashback sound effect. Now, let's say we want to return from the flashback back to where we were, or anytime we travel to the future, we use this flash forward sound effect. Now, this last sound moves us only in space, not in time. Let's say we're in a scene. We want to find out what's happening at the exact same time somewhere else. We use this meanwhile sound effect. Past, present, future. Everyone gets it. And now it is time to reveal the location for improv provided to us by Mr. LeVar Burton. And that location is Schenectady, New York. Schenectady, New York. We take you now to Schenectady, New York.
Well, John, the flakes are falling. Another beautiful winter in Schenectady begins.
I know. This time of year, I don't know. It's kind of my favorite time of year, you know?
Me too, yeah.
Just the snow falling,
Yeah.
the trees, you know, the smell of the trees, the pine trees
Yeah.
that we have here in abundance in Schenectady.
The factory starts pumping out the smoke.
Oh, I love
you
seeing
know.
that smoke belching out of those smokestacks.
Yeah, our primary export of those little rocking horses is just...
That's right. Oh boy, there's a good year too. Everyone needs one of those little rocking horses.
Sure do, man.
Yeah.
I'm just thankful, you know?
Yeah, me too.
Yeah. How's Mary doing?
Well, you know, Pete, she's not doing so good.
Oh, no.
Yeah, she was in some rapids, and
Don't say it.
they shook her up pretty good.
She got slurped into a Maytag?
She got slurped into a Maytag,
No.
and she was spit out of the water, and she hit her head. She hit her head on the boat.
If you had to guess how many cubic feet of water she sucked up, what would you say?
I hope you don't think I'm pretentious, but I'm gonna say it was 30 cubic feet of water.
Oh my God.
Displaced per second by her. She displaced 30 cubic feet of water while she was in those rapids. And I think the water was like angry at her.
Wow.
It spit her so far out, she hit her head on not the boat that she fell out of, but another boat,
Another
way
boat.
down the river.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it was a boat that's just like on the banks of the river. It's just there for you to take pictures with.
So the Maytag shot her out of the rapid and she hit a boat on the shore.
On the shore. Yeah.
Wow. Well, I'm sorry I asked. I didn't realize what a horrible tale I was going to be spun.
Yeah, I'm sorry to tell you. It's not a great story.
Oh, so much water. Oh, this has to be 30 cubic centimeters.
Mama, you okay?
Mary, be careful!
I hit my head. This is not even our boat.
How are you so far away?
I'm in the Maytag.
We're coming to get you. So she's on the mend.
Okay.
You know,
She's at the hospital, St. Olaf's.
oh, you didn't hear?
No.
St. Olaf's burned down.
Where have I been?
Where have you been? This was a big
I
story.
took a business trip to Anchorage, so.
Oh, must be nice.
Yeah.
It burned down while she was in there. She was the last person who was operated on in St. Olaf's.
Oh my God.
And please don't tell anyone this, Pete. Mary started the fire. she was smoking on the operating table. You know, she loves her cigarettes.
Sure.
And I don't know, she just like haggled with
I get it.
the OR doctors.
Hey, Johnny, buddy, look, I've got some new evidence. I think we're gonna find this arsonist. All right?
Come on, leave it alone, all right?
No, I can't. You know, I can't rest until this case of the St. Olaf burner is solved.
Look, man, it's in the past. I got all these other papers stacking up on my desk of all this type of stuff. Somebody burned down a hospital. Whoop-de-freaking-do.
This is the key to all the crime in Schenectady, Bobby, okay? And I need you to help me solve it so that we can figure out what the fuck is happening in our town.
You say that about every case.
Why? What else are you working on that's more important than the St. Olaf burner?
Well, you know Georgina?
Yeah.
Well, turns out somebody's been opening her bakery door at night.
Well, now I came in and the door was closed, but I noticed that it looked like it had been opened during the night.
Oh, and so you're saying you didn't do it?
No, I was at home asleep. It's nighttime.
Okay.
Yeah.
Do you got any family that might come in and want some bread at night, or just...
Well, my family's pretty hungry all the time.
Okay.
It's just the way they're built. They're you know, if you put them in water, they would float.
Okay, well,
Because they're
right,
empty.
right, that's okay.
So, I mean,
that down.
we do have bread at home, though.
Empty family. Okay.
So I don't think that it's any of them. It's just a feeling I have that the door's been opened during the night.
Okay, well...
By a stranger.
All right, well, guess what? This case has my full attention.
That sounds like the wind did it, man.
Up until I find out if the wind did it or not, that case has my full attention.
All right, Bobby. Well, look, I guess I can go it alone, and maybe I'll grab the rookie and go do some interviews of my own if you want to figure out what's going on with this.
Hey, if you find anything out about that opening door, you come and let me know.
Fine. Hey, Rook.
Hey, Saj.
I'm gonna drive down to the burn site to see if I can pick up any evidence. You want to come with?
Oh, of course, the burn site?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely.
All right, let's get in the car. So, here it is. The burn site.
Oh, man, I ain't never seen a case before. I just been figuring out how my desk works all this time.
Hold on, you've worked here for a year and a half. You haven't seen a single case in a year and a half?
Nah, man, did you know that the desk has little keys? Like, you can lock stuff away in your desk with little keys?
Yeah, that's a basic function of most desks.
Oh.
Okay, look, just collect some samples, all right? We're gonna see if you can find anything, all right?
Okay.
Who's that man lurking in the woods over there?
Sweep here.
Hey, you! Hey, come here! Hey, stop!
I wasn't doing anything.
Stop.
I wasn't doing anything.
Stop,
I was just
you.
lurking in the woods, that's all.
What do you do? What's your name?
My name?
Yeah.
Well, Reggie.
Kevareggie?
Kevareggie.
Kevareggie?
Yeah, it was named after a classical composer, I think. Kevareggio.
Kevareggio. Oh, yeah,
That's
sure.
my name.
He's got a great sonatas. Yeah.
He's got a great sonata.
Look, what are you doing here? Nobody comes here. This is a crime scene.
I used to work at this hospital. And
In what capacity?
I was an orderly. I moved gurneys around and stuff like that. And it's a great job. I miss working here. It was the way I was going to meet girls,
Sure. Let me ask you, did you...
Hey, Kevin Reggie, thank you for coming in here. I just want to let you know that we're going to be letting you go today from the hospital.
What?
Yeah.
Well, but why?
Everyone says you're kind of creepy, so, we're just trying to break the morale around the hospital.
What do I do that's creepy?
I mean, you kind of... You like lurk around the hospital kind of weird.
Right,
You're supposed to
yeah.
be doing the gurneys, but sometimes you're like sleeping on the gurneys and stuff, and people think you're like a dead body. Like you sleep like a dead body. I don't know if you know that.
Well, look, I have very shallow breathing when I'm asleep.
I mean, but it's just, I don't know, it just freaks out a lot of other people.
But that's why I put that little compact mirror on my chest so people could see that I was alive.
And look, and I love that you took the time to do that, but it's just, yeah, we're just gonna have to let you go, because on your way out, can you just give these cigarettes to Dr. Morgan? He's working on a patient who just really needs cigarettes.
Oh, that lady from the Rapids?
Yeah.
All right.
Hi, you two gentlemen make rocking horses?
Yeah, we do. Sure.
Yeah.
Do you need a rocking horse?
Yeah, I came all the way up to Schenectady because you guys make rocking horses.
Oh, well, where are you from?
I'm from Fresno.
You came all the way up to Schenectady from Fresno.
Yes.
Did you?
Yeah, walk us through that.
You know, as you do.
So you took a plane from Fresno to New York City and then went north to Schenectady.
As you do. Yeah.
It checks out.
That's right. Yeah. Well, yeah. We can. What do you need? Order filled. What kind of? How big? How many rocking horses? We can get some out for you.
Yes, my husband and I are very adventurous. Yes. Recently, we took our lovemaking underwater, and now we're trying to take it on wood.
Oh, would you excuse us for just 1 second, ma'am?
Sure, I'll be over here.
Pete,
John.
I don't know about this.
I mean, come on. Look, you know what they say. You can't choose your customers.
Yeah, they do say that. They say it all the time. Does this mean something about us if we sell a rocking horse to this sex person?
I think it maybe means that we're branching out into a new market and our business is expanding. I want to run Schenectady with you, man. And the only way that we're going to do that is keep making money, from sex people or otherwise.
I mean, I guess I could rationalize it morally that we could have been selling rocking horses to sex people all the time. They just didn't declare it like this lady did.
That is true. Maybe we've already crossed over to the dark side and we didn't even know.
Well, you put it like that, it doesn't make it better.
That's true.
Hey, Pete and John.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, just coming here asking people.
Just a second, ma'am.
Just coming here asking people questions real quick.
Yes, officer.
Georgina's bakery across the street.
Right.
Have you seen anybody like opening the door when she's not there?
Well, not my wife, of course.
Not your wife? You just said not your wife?
Yeah, I mean,
Bobby,
I haven't seen my wife do it.
What is this all about? Is there some problem in the neighborhood?
Yeah, well, Georgina said somebody's going around opening her bakery at night when she's not there.
Well, my wife's not doing it, so
Okay,
Right.
John, you said it a lot. Are you sure your wife's not opening a bakery?
yes, that's why I'm saying it so much, because I'm positive that my wife is not opening the bakery door in the middle of the night and then closing it.
Okay, I'm gonna have to hear from her. Where is she right now?
She's at home, but she's resting because of the Rapids incident.
Okay. Well, I need to go drop some soup off to her anyways, because,
Honey, have you been telling people that I'm not doing crimes when they ask about crimes?
Well, look, I rushed home as quickly as I could. I have been telling people that you're not doing crimes because you're doing crimes and it's against the law to do crimes.
I'm not doing all the crimes, though. I feel like every time somebody asks you about a crime, you're telling them I didn't do the crime. Okay, I only burnt down the hospital.
Honey, please don't say it out loud.
And I enjoy Miss Georgina's breads
I know,
in the middle of the night.
Right, but to cover our bases, anytime a crime comes up, I say my wife didn't do that crime.
Bobby, what are you doing outside of Mary and John's house?
Oh, I'm about to go, I'm going to go knock on the door and ask his wife a couple questions.
I'm about to go knock on the door and ask his wife a couple questions. Me and Rook found some interesting evidence down at the burn site.
Oh,
Miss Mary's hospital ID tag.
really?
Yeah, I think she had something to do with it.
I do too. Yeah, I tagged along.
Yeah, this is Kevin Reggie, a man we found in the woods who's named after a composer.
Kevin Reggio.
Oh, cool. All right, well, this makes you feel better about bringing her the cheapest soup that I could eat at the store. Okay.
All right, well, let's go up in there and knock on the door. Police!
Oh, the police are here.
Oh my God, see, damn, this is your fault.
Why, darling, why is it my fault?
Don't make me hit you again.
Please don't hit me. Please don't hit me.
You know you make me, you want me to hit
I
you.
don't want you to, well, I mean, of course I do, but
They gotta be here.
Yeah.
Knock again. Hard.
All right. Hello, police! Kevin Reggio, some soup!
Hold on, let me get my bra on. That'll give us 10 minutes.
I don't want to go in there if she doesn't have a bra on.
And it's probably gonna take her at least about 10 minutes.
All right, let's
You sure we can't go in there?
Nah, Kevin Reggio, don't be nasty.
Yeah.
Well, while we're sitting here, I saw some interesting things at the burn unit too, Sarge.
Rook, it's a burn site, not a burn unit. A burn unit is a place where people who have been burned go to the hospital.
We did have a burn unit, though, to be fair.
So I guess technically not.
Yeah, thank you.
Maybe we were standing in the burn unit site burn site.
You were very close to it, actually.
Thank
Okay.
you. I saw the remainders of something that looked real familiar.
Remains. You saw the remains.
To be fair, we did have a lot of books that didn't sell well in the hospital.
Leftover numbers after long division.
Thank you. Get my point here. Thank you, Sasha.
That's the reason.
Damn it.
I found a very curious shelf.
Okay.
This is embarrassing. I ate all this soup.
How was it?
It actually was pretty good.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah. I mean, for the price that I paid, it's actually pretty good. It's gross soup, but for the price that I paid, it was good. I thought it was going
We're running out of time.
Damn. Okay. This is what we'll say. Okay.
Okay.
We were here the whole time. And we were swimming.
Okay, now, first of all, we don't know which crime they're going to ask us about.
Okay.
And for the hospital, we definitely can't say that you were here the whole time because you were.
I was in the
there.
house. Okay, I
Yeah.
see what you say. I see your logic here. All right.
Also, we don't have a pool.
You're right. Look, I used to drive for Lyft.
Right.
Okay. So I'ma just tell him I was Lyft driving
Okay.
when I wasn't in the hospital.
You know, I wish I was more successful and you could have driven for Uber, but thank you for never throwing that in my face.
All right, well, you know Schenectady law. If we knock one more time and they don't come to the door,
That's
we
right.
have rightful order to walk into their home.
Schenectady law.
Oh, yes, hello.
Hello.
Oh, hello, officers. And
Hey.
who's
Hey.
that?
This is a guy we found in the woods.
Yeah, hello. How you doing?
Hey, John, as I said earlier, you rushed home pretty fast here.
What's that?
You rushed pretty fast.
As fast
from
as I
Rockin-
could, yes. Well, you know, I'm worried about my wife, the Rapids incident, and so forth.
Sure.
My head still quakes.
Oh, it quakes, huh?
She still has head quakes.
Look, can we ask you a couple questions, Mary? Where were you on the day that the hospital burned down?
No, she was in the hospital. You know, she was being operated on, so she
Right.
couldn't. It's cool if I answer the questions, right?
Okay. Follow-up question. You've been known. You're a smoker, right? You smoke. You had a. Does it understand that you had a doctor get you a pack of cigarettes while you were at the?
I don't recall.
That doesn't seem familiar.
Listen, when people smoke, what is smoking? You know?
Exactly. What is
Exactly.
smoking anyway?
Okay, stop hogging all the questions. Hey, so you've been known to be able to lock and unlock things.
What? Officer, that's outrageous.
Are you saying that because I'm black?
Officer.
Why would I say that? You're the only black woman in the whole town. That would be rude of me to say.
I think that's what her point is.
Oh, well, no, I did not say that. That's not what I'm saying.
Okay, well now your questions are up. Other guy with questions I could have dodged easier.
Yeah. That made me very uncomfortable.
Time's almost up. Time's almost up.
If you had to eat one thing for the rest of your life, what would it be?
What?
Ooh, good question. I would
Don't
eat.
say bread.
Oh, okay. I would eat soup. Delicious soup.
Expensive soup, right?
No. Cheap soup.
Oh, cheap soup.
Really cheap soup.
Funny you say
thrifty
that. I recently just had some cheap soup.
Oh, that's so crazy. How was it?
Pretty disgusting. But for the price, it's good.
So yeah, Sergeant, we weren't able to figure out if it was her or not. We used our best interrogation techniques, and Rook did good, Bobby did good. Yeah, so
Yeah.
Okay, maybe you're forgetting. Since my promotion, I'm not a sergeant anymore. You're the sergeant.
oh right, yeah, you're the chief inspector.
I'm the chief inspector.
Right.
So
Well,
wait.
Wait, how come you haven't changed the plaque on your desk yet?
They want all kinds of money for that. You know what I mean? It's a ripoff.
Sure.
I'm just going to put tape over it and then write in chief inspector over
Smart.
sergeant.
Like
Yeah.
when you're shooting a television show and you're only there for a short time and they tape you.
That's right.
Your thing on the road. Yeah,
You work
right,
police for one show in town, all of a sudden
I
you
mean,
think
look,
you know everything about television.
Hawaii 5-0.
We're saving so much money shooting Hawaii 5-0 here in Schenectady.
Look, I don't want to tell you how to run the show, but it really feels like a departure from what we've been doing. Are you sure people are going to like it or get it?
Who cares? It's TV. Everyone's stupid.
So true. Okay.
Did you talk to that cop about how things have to be more realistic?
Yeah, he's very excited by his dressing room door. Yeah. Hey, Edwards James Olmos. You're the star of this, right?
Hey, why don't you go lie down?
Okay.
Hey, Scott Conn, I'm very, very sorry about that.
No.
Can I ask a question?
Sure, yeah.
So, do you have any single friends who, they're looking to get with a guy?
Actually, I do.
Oh, all right.
I got a very single friend.
How single?
Extremely single.
Oh, that's my type.
She is lonely.
And you let this other guy ask a question?
Yeah, it seemed like we were struck out, so it seemed like a good idea at the time.
But sir, I got a good question in. I did.
Oh, yeah, Rook?
Yeah, absolutely.
What was the question you got in?
So, miss, where do you keep your bras? In a desk?
It was okay.
Well, wait, hold on a second. What was the answer?
I keep my...
At that point, we got the alarm to come back to the station, so we don't actually know what it was, but we can call her right now and find out.
You got it. I want you to go back there, get an answer to that bra question.
All right.
Or I'm going to have your gun and your badge on my desk. That's right, the gun and the badge you guys share. All three of you.
Not our gun.
Oh, that was a close one.
Oh,
So glad they left. Oh, no.
Police.
Again.
Just a second, officers. What could they possibly want? I thought we threw them off the
we
scent.
thwarted them. Look, I gave him my friend's number. She's so lonely. That should have kept them...
He doesn't seem to be there anymore, so I think at least we got rid of him.
All right, well, damn. One more second. Putting on creams.
Look, John, we sold all the rocking horses. We're ready. We can shut the factory down.
Yeah, I got back here as fast as I could.
You are running around.
Yeah, the police are at my house right now. Luckily, the factory's right next door.
Honestly, sometimes I forget that you have two different lives. Do you know what I mean? Like, there's my life here with you and I, and then you've got your life.
Frankly, I'm exhausted.
So, you headed to a factory, huh? You've been taking a lot of rides in this lift today.
Yeah, I gotta get to the factory.
You know, it's just a one-horse town here, just a one-lift town.
I know, and so many rocking horses.
Rocking horses remind me of my father. Dare I do a monologue about it?
Yeah, sure. I'll just check out. Anyway, I should probably get back home, but you're saying that sex person cleared us out of all our rocking horse talk?
Yeah, I just felt like we needed to conclude that segment of the story.
I'm back. Sorry, officers. Sorry, I just had emergency work.
Well, that sucked. Okay, you walked in between us, was like, excuse me for a second.
Yes.
And I'm like, okay, well, can we talk to your wife? You
Right.
left,
Yes.
and we're still standing here at the door. She hasn't came down yet.
Oh, shit. What?
No.
She's probably just finished with her creams. Just one moment, I'll just dash inside. Honey, I think I stalled it for as long as I possibly can. I also had to take a detour to work briefly. But well, let's just keep our story straight.
Okay. The story is, that, what did we say? Lift?
Lyft, yes. You were a Lyft driver, and so... What was it?
All right, one more knock, and then Schenectady law.
Yes, officers, please do come in.
So the question is, and I want you to keep the exact same answer that you've pre-planned.
Right.
The question is, what size bra do you wear?
No, that wasn't the question.
I believe that is overstepping the line. I think the rookie here had a question that was a little bit more polite.
Yeah. I wanted to know about the drawers that you use specifically and related to desks. That's my expertise.
What?
Desks.
But I think your question was, you asked, where do you keep your
all
bra?
the bras
In
in
a
a
desk.
desk or...
Oh, yes. Where do we keep the bras? I keep the bras on the desk right next to my pack of cigarettes and my bread.
Cigarettes. Bread. I'm having a beautiful mind moment. All the pieces are falling together. Bread connects to cigarettes, which connects to smoking, which connects to the
You were
hospital.
an extra in that movie.
You're writing on my wall.
I almost had one line. They almost put me up. So the cigarettes and then the bread, and then Kevin Reggio's in the woods. He worked at the hospital, and he worked at the hospital next to Mary, who was there as a patient. But then the doctor, he gave her cigarettes. All of a sudden, she's smoking. She's having a good time. Her head's hit from the hit in the boat, and she can't think loud. And all of a sudden, she's smoking, and then the hospital burns down, and then she's got to go get bread at night to feel better about herself. You are the culprit. The Schenectady burner and bread stealer. We need a pithier name. Is you.
How about the Schenectady toaster?
Ooh, that's nice.
God damn it.
'Cause it's bread
that is
and
so
burning.
good. That is John.
Thank you.
Good job.
Hope you
you,
guys don't
officer.
mind while you were over there doing your beautiful mime moment. I made a can of soup on your stove.
Oh, that's what that lovely smell is.
Yes. Everyone can have some if you want. I made 2 cans.
All right, officers. Well, it sounds like y'all solved your case. Y'all can leave my house now.
Oh, yeah, we kind of have to take you with us.
Officers, is there any way we can make this go away? Like, say, have you ever had sex on a rocking horse?
I haven't. I've had sex upstairs. But
You're a member of the upstairs club?
Yeah.
Oh, my.
But never on a rocking horse. Why? What are you proposing?
Well, let me ask. Rocking horse. For 2 or 3 people?
Well, I mean, usually they're for 2 people.
people,
3
right.
people, one person would probably fall off, but that might be part of the fun.
Exactly. Here, why don't I just pull off this black sheet?
Behold.
Ooh.
Hey, Sarge, you want to go close that door?
I sure do.
And it all happened in a place called Spontaneanation. Laci Mosley, where can people find you should they wish to find you, and what would you like to promote?
Ooh, you can find me on Instagram at DIVALACI, Diva Laci. And I do hip-hop comedy improv called Trap Prov. The next one is February 24th at midnight at UCB Franklin. It's lit. Come through.
There you go.
Yeah, you know, I'll be, I don't know, around. Come see Cardinal Redbird Tuesdays at 11 at UCB, or White Women with Ronnie and myself every second Friday of the month at UCB Sunset.
And our friend Carl
10:30.
Tart.
And Carl Tart.
Is also a member of White Women.
Yeah.
And where can people find you online?
DJ Ziggy Zeke for Instagram and Twitter. It's like DJ Jazzy Jeff, but no, that's good.
That ought to help. Ronnie Adrian!
You can find me, I guess you can find me on Twitter, like I have an account.
I tried to find you on Twitter and I could not.
Well, it's under Bones Adrian. Like, I'm on Twitter. When you look at Ronnie Adrian, I'm pretty sure it will come up, but it doesn't get any traction. But after like 7 years of having it, I finally retweeted something after because I had never used it, so I finally retweeted. So I'm thinking about maybe getting it popping a little bit on the Twitter.
Sure. Instagram, is that a thing?
I do have an Instagram.
There we go.
Also under Bones Adrian. That's cool. Yeah, you can follow me on that. That'll be cool. I'm on Facebook, but there got me so many people sitting in my friend requests. I'm constantly thinking about trying to get rid of it. So
Best plug ever.
so
What a can of worms I've opened up.
so that one you just don't worry about that one. Yeah, just
All right.
Twitter, but mostly Instagram. Instagram is the one to do.
Instagram. So I would say in order: Instagram, then Twitter. Don't bother with Facebook. Ladies and gentlemen, Eban Schletter is Eban Schletter on all the things. Go to EbanSchletter.com and seek out Eban Schletter's non-spontaneanation work. It is wonderful because Eban Schletter is only the best. How do you spell Eban Schletter? It's simple, you goddamn idiot. EbanSchletter. As for me, go to paulftompkins.com/live to see where I am going to be and why. And I would say thank you for listening, and please do give us a review in the podcast review places because it helps people find the podcast. It helps improve our standing in the rankings. And if you leave a fun review, I'll read it on the show. A fun review like this one. Let's see what this person has to say. Crazy title, but great podcast. 5 stars. That's the way to do it. This is from Wilshire, 1853. I have been a big fan
ever since I figured out it was Paul doing all the wonderfully funny characters on Comedy Bang Bang. I was never a huge improv comedy fan until I stumbled upon this podcast. If you are interested in or ever even thought about improv, I would highly recommend this podcast to you.
Wow.
That's right. If you've heard the word improv in your life, you should listen to this. Thank you, Wilshire, whatever the numbers were. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you to Earwolf for hosting the podcast. Thank you to engineer Ryan for engineering us all the way to the end of the show, which this is. Goodbye forever. Until next week, this is Paul F. Tompkins saying, Semper in Presenti.
Hello, hello. This is an ad for my podcast, Fake the Nation, where we talk about news, we talk about politics, and where we wet our pants about electoral democracy. I am the host, Nagin Farsad, your friendly neighborhood Muslim podcaster. Every Thursday, I'm joined by a rotating cast of politically savvy pals, folks like John Lovett from Crooked Media.
If Ruth Bader Ginsburg has a step-in tub, you get that thing the fuck out of her house. Because if she has to step over even a lip to bathe, it's unacceptable.
Like John Fugelsang from SiriusXM.
I have a bumper sticker that says impeach Pence first because he's all the evil but half the comedy value, so he's useless to me.
And other people not named John. Every episode we break down the news, we ridicule our popular vote-losing minority president Donnie Twimp, and we do it in 3 tasty little segments with a cool bell at the start of each one. Yeah, like that. To hear more, just check out Fake the Nation on Stitcher or wherever you listen. New episodes drop every Thursday afternoon.
This has been an Earwolf production. Executive producers Scott Ackerman, Chris Bannon, Colin Anderson, and Paul F. Tompkins. For more media and content, go to earwolf.com.